Since Holbeach in Bloom was formed in the autumn of 2011, there was an uneasy relationship with Holbeach Parish Council. When it came to the spring of 2012, a request was made from Holbeach in Bloom to Holbeach Parish Council for a meeting to discuss the amenity areas and who was going to be responsible for what. The new clerk, Mrs. Daisley, wrote to Holbeach in Bloom advising of a date to meet with the chairman, but within days the meeting was cancelled. From an early stage it was though Holbeach Parish Council did not want Holbeach in Bloom to prosper. Was that because there were several ex-councillors in the ranks of Holbeach in Bloom? Planting time at the end of May saw the Parish Council staff not clearing the old spring flowers away, so Holbeach in Bloom could plant their spring bedding. So the Holbeach in Bloom volunteers had to do a lot of the clearing away. Friday, July the 6th, was judging day for the Bloom competition. The preceding days saw Holbeach in Bloom volunteers make every effort to make the town look nice and tidy. On the Saturday before judging, some Bloom volunteers was in the grounds of the William Stukely School, and who should arrive but a council workman. And when asked as to what he was going to do, he said he was going to sort out the patch of weeds near the car park, to which he was politely told it was not a patch of weeds, but a bed of wild flowers. Just over 2 weeks later, one of the Holbeach in Bloom's volunteers received a letter. It was from the chairman of Holbeach Parish Council, Councillor Peter Savoury. The letter stated that the council had received a complaint from one of its employees. The letter said, "Please note that under Section 26 of the Equality Act 2010, your comments constitute harassment. Under Section 40 of the same legislation, the Parish Council is obliged to protect its employee from such conduct. The Council therefore requests that you refrain from such conduct with immediate effect. If you have any comments that you would like to make regarding the Council and its services, please direct them to the Chairman of the Council. Please note that failure to comply with this request may result in the Council having to take appropriate formal action against you." A reply was subsequently sent to Mrs. Daisley as Clerk of Holbeach Parish Council. Prior to judging, the Parish Council's employees did little to help Holbeach in Bloom. One notable item being the hedge surrounding Carter's Park, which was left uncut. But a few days after the Bloom competition judging, the hedge was cut, in preparation for the Small Towns competition. This only infuriated Holbeach in Bloom members more. The judges, however, were very sympathetic, and were to advise Holbeach in Bloom, as Carter's Park was a local authority area, they would not lose points due to its untidy condition. Likewise the closed churchyard. It was immaterial whether they maintained it or not. Holbeach in Bloom were to meet and decide, with the lack of cooperation by Holbeach Parish Council, to vacate certain areas of the town. The Bloom Committee were to write to Holbeach Parish Council and inform them that they was giving up maintaining the churchyard. It was claimed that the letter arrived at the Parish Council offices too late to be included in the August meeting's agenda. 2 days after the August meeting, one of the council workers went to the Parish Council notice board and removed the August agenda, but he did not pin up a notice saying allotments to let, but one for Give Blood, with the smiling face of Gary Lineker, with his sleeve rolled up, which was rather fitting for what was in the following day's paper. Fallout over town churchyard upkeep. In Bloom Committee refused to do any more work there. A bitter row was broken out between Holbeach Parish Council and the town's In Bloom volunteers over the upkeep of All Saints churchyard. Holbeach in Bloom members have voted unanimously to give up maintaining the churchyard after accusing the council of taking advantage of their efforts. Officials claim an agreement between Holbeach in Bloom and the Parish Council to share maintenance of the churchyard has been breached, although they are prepared to continue watering its flowers until the beginning of September. In a letter to the council, Holbeach in Bloom Chairman Carol Johnson said, "At our meeting on August the 8th, a full discussion was held regarding the upkeep of the churchyard and the part we played in keeping this area looking its best. Reference was made to the meeting with your chairman on June the 18th, when the responsibility of various maintenance issues in the churchyard was discussed, and how we hoped that progress had been made regarding mutual cooperation between Holbeach in Bloom and the Parish Council. Unfortunately, it is very evident that the council is still not doing what it should to keep our jewel in the crown looking pristine, and we are still no further forward with the mutual cooperation needed and agreed on this matter. It was felt by our members that Holbeach in Bloom volunteers are still doing the work that Parish Council employees are paid to do, or it is not done at all." Councillor Savoury appeared to be basing his leadership of Holbeach Parish Council on the fictional Admiral General Aladdin in the movie Dictator. In May, he declared that Holbeach Parish Council could have an annual general meeting, and had also changed the March council minutes. In June, he'd said that it was up to the Crown what they did on the Crownfield Bank allotments, and if they wanted to have Mr Pole's daffodils sprayed, they could do. In July, he was claiming he did not know what the payment was for to Moorcliffe Securities, and was also making arrangements to move the council meeting for August to the St Mark's Village Hall, even though there was not an agendaed item for such a move to be voted on. At the August council meeting, he was to say that you cannot mention people's names in the open forum, with so much being taken in committee. This decision had probably been taken a long while before. The beginning of August had seen the clerk, Mrs Daisley, send a letter to the person who had been called a dickhead at the April council meeting. It stated at the time of the July open forum that the chairman was unaware that the police were not investigating the matter, and went on, "I write to inform you that our chairman has now asked me to advise you that we as the parish council cannot instruct the park keeper to apologise for something which he refutes. We did make inquiries, but there were no apparent witnesses who directly heard the comments you are alleging the park keeper made, and we understand that the park keeper also made counter allegations against you which we believe is also not proceeding. In light of the above, we can find no reasonable basis on which to take this matter further." Perhaps the park keeper was following a new parish council policy, a policy that the general public had not been made aware of, but was revealed by the chairman at the August meeting. You cannot use people's names in the open forum. In a letter printed in the local press, "In Bloom no longer involved in closed churchyard work due to lack of support," the chair of Holbeach in Bloom outlined members' frustration. Despite holding a meeting with the current chairman of the parish council to discuss the way forward, and subsequent requests made for small gardening jobs to be done by the gardener, we still find, other than the work we do to maintain our flower beds, no other weeding or tidying is being done, and we are continually questioned by members of the public as to why no one other than our volunteers spends time gardening, etc. in this area. We hope that everyone who has appreciated our efforts in the past will understand the frustration we feel due to the lack of cooperation from the parish council, and will understand our reasons for handing back all responsibility of the closed churchyard. We will continue to plant the other areas in the town and supply hanging baskets for the many businesses that have loyally supported us, and wish to thank everyone who has helped us this year.